So good evening everybody, a happy new year to everybody in Pigeonland. I'm sure for everybody there that's breeding now at the moment, the early breeders, things are going well, I hope. I've seen a lot of pictures on Facebook and around the place of big healthy youngsters already in the nest, and out of the nest in some cases. So be it. It's what we all do. We all make our choices and our decisions. So happy new year, and I wish you all the best with your breeding. For me, I'm here, I'm just popping about the loft, cleaning, tidying, taking bits and pieces down, feeding the few birds that are here, that are being held before they go. And I just you know, I've been looking at a few posts on Facebook and a couple of articles, and I just wanted to mention talk about breeding families, because it's something I'm really interested in and how you do it. Les Parkinson there from LMR mentioned about the Gabby Van Dennebeels, even through Mark Evans, are probably one of the most consistent modern day families that are out there consistently for the last whatever 10 or 15 years now, and are still performing exceptionally well wherever they go. And that's fantastic, you know, and it's great to see. Most of us breed, like I said before, crosses. You bring in birds every year or every other year, and you bring them into your own, and you just breed through them, and that's fine as well. That works, you know. The crosses work for everybody. Once you bring in the right birds, it's hit or miss. A lot of people then, especially in the sprint arena, a bird gets 2 or 3 years to breed the goods. If they haven't bred the goods, they're removed. You know, that's all good. But no matter what you do, whether you're breeding a family, whether you're crossing all the time, whether you're bringing in birds all the time and breeding through them, nothing is going to make you successful without the right birds to begin with. And that's something I always advocate for and push for and tell fellas for, and I don't, you know, I'm the same. My gig was long distance racing, just takes a bit more time. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten there due to what's going on. I'm just going back to Les Parkinson and his article on LMR there about breeding. I just read about the Gabby Van Dennebeels. Families are developed, and Facebook posts are talking about when you consider birds to be yours, like to be your family. And somebody mentioned the likes of George Bushart from many years ago, and George Bushart was a man that, you know, I've read a lot about, heard about, and his way was, if the bird entered his loft, it was a Bushart, end of. And George Bushart went and got the best birds from everywhere he could, and always continued getting the best birds from everywhere he could, and bred through them, and was very successful. But George Bushart, for me, in that regard, hadn't got a family, had all those crossed birds. And it works for him, it works for many fanciers today that go out and buy the best, get the best they can get, and start from where they are. And we all hope to start with the right thing, but that's paramount. You must start with the right birds. Without starting with the right birds, you'll end the war. One of the more consistent families here at the moment in Ireland, especially in the sprint racing, is Sean Hunt's pigeons here in Dublin. Sean's birds are winning for other people now as well. Sean has talked about 3 or 4 generations of his own birds that are winning and are being successful and now breeding the goods themselves. So in that regard, I would say those birds of Sean's are definitely a family to be reckoned with, like, and a family in the fact that all the good birds are being stemmed from 2 or 3 performance pigeons. Perfect. And then the performance pigeons are going on to breed themselves, which is great. When you're trying to develop a family, depending on the distance you want to fly, it takes different amounts of times. So, for example, if you're breeding a sprint family, and you're trying to develop a sprint family without bringing in all the birds every other year, and you're going to start with a base 3 or 4 pigeons or 5 pigeons or whatever you're going to do, you can see the results over a number of 3-4 years, probably 3 years even. And if they're not working at that point, then they're not good enough to be what's around you. There is a second side to that, flip side to that. It means that, you know, it's something that I would certainly be looking at first. I'd be checking the fancier, making sure you're doing everything you can first before, you know, you bring the pigeons, because most people go out and get the best they can get. Like, so it's not like they're just hoping that they have good enough birds. They're probably getting them from somebody who's performing anyway, you know, and that's what you're looking at. For the more distance-minded fancier, developing a family takes a lot longer because you have to wait to see what you can do with your boards and what they can do. So you make a decision, you know, you do what I was doing, you try to line breed from the start, you know, in which case what I was doing was taking half brothers and sisters, putting them back together, creating double grandchildren of the performance pigeon, double grandchildren back to child, and line breed down like that every year. Always keeping the boards I was breeding as grandchildren of performance pigeons, and on the other side I always bring the line down. The other option is that you can put the generations together as you come down the tree. For example, 4 pigeons off this performance man, 4 pigeons off this performance man, put them together, breed down the next generation, cross them, and continue breeding them back into each other, and hopefully get success that way by developing a family. So developing a family for me takes the years, but you must be coming down away from your stock boards in the family tree. Not about breeding your stock boards all the time, letting them get too overplaced in the stock boards. You're not breeding a family, then you're breeding the line of performers that are all brothers and sisters and half brothers and sisters to each other, when you should be trying to get down further away from the tree. So for a distance-minded fancier, you make a decision. Like I said, you do what I do, you try to line breed down from the originals by trying to pick the best you can. Or you have another option, and here's the other option. You get the best boards you can get. And for me, the distance I was going for, I'm looking at 4 years. So you can keep the boards you have for 4 years and constantly breed from them for 4 years. And giving yourself 3 or 4 years of brothers and sisters. All brothers and sisters, that's it. Full brothers and sisters all the way. And then you push those boards out to where you need to get them, and you see if they can do it. Now you have 4 years of brothers and sisters there to push on with and see if they work out. And then you can, you know, get rid of if the boards don't work out what you want to do, then you move on, you decide what you're going to do. You could breed them and then cross them. You could do any number of things. But there are a lot of different options. But something in today's pigeon sport that is missing is that trying to cultivate a family, because it's lost, especially here in Ireland, you know, and the UK. The only people, the only fanciers that I would know of that actually really try to cultivate a family regularly and more regular than most are distance-minded fanciers. For the sprint fancier, you know, sometimes getting in the crosses all the time works quicker, and that's, you know, that's each their own, you know. There's no harm in that, you know. It's what makes the world tick. We all do our own thing, and we all enjoy doing it, and that's what's most important about pigeon sport for me. It's about enjoyment, you know. I am missing my boards terrible, and I know when these are gone completely, I'll miss it even more, and that's one of the reasons I want to continue doing these videos. You know, there'll be critics out there in my videos, there'll be people who like them. That's up to everybody, you know, it's each to the individual. I'm going to continue doing the articles, and I'm going to continue talking to my pigeon friends, because it's what I want to do. I don't want to walk away from the sport altogether. I've already looked at importing boards where I plan to be, hopefully, in the near future. And we'll see how it goes. It's just a case of time now. But I would recommend everybody try to breed a family, even if it's only a small number of boards from a successful line of boards, and you breed a family that becomes successful. Now you're in business. But a family starts from a very small pool. It doesn't start from 20 or 30 pigeons. I had 30 pair of pigeons here, stock boards, or 40 pair of pigeons, stock boards, you know. But I was line breeding. I had 6 lions on the go at the same time, or 7 lions on the go at the same time. They weren't crossed. And even me looking back, way too many. Way too many. If I was to start again, I'd start again with 2 to 4 lions, and I'd only be starting with 2 pair from each line. That's it, to create a line from each, and those could be crossed then and see what happens as crosses for race purposes, you know. One very, very, very well-known fancier that does it all the time, and it's how he breeds, is